The Viper MkIV. Some people think that this ship is useless, and they don't know why it even exists. Why? Because of the Cobra MkIII. It's a bigger version of the Viper MkIII, and it's actually a bit more expensive than a Cobra for not much of a difference. Well, that's what they think. Firstly, let's take a look at the Viper itself. The Mark IV is a fighter vessel developed by Faulcon Delacy Shipyards as an improved version of the Viper MkIII, and is meant to compete with the Cobra MkIII. It's 436,000 credits, and is used by many navies and police forces. Alright, so for a small combat ship, I personally believe that this is well suited for a beginner's fighter after a Sidewinder, or maybe a cheap ship for navies. It's agile, it's got decent weapons, it's got good internals, which I'll compare to the Cobra later. So it's a pretty solid combat ship, yeah. The weapons consist of 2 medium and 2 small hardpoints, and there's 4 utility mounts, and the internal compartments consist of these compartments up in the screen. Personally, I believe the Viper MkIV and the Cobra MkIII have compartments which are pretty similar and should be compared. Oh yes, and for modules, they are essentially the same. Other than that, that's all the stats-based information that I personally have for you. Now we have the comparison between the Viper and Cobra. So the agility and speed are pretty similar, and I couldn't really feel any difference between the two for maneuverability and agility, and just fighting with these were pretty similar. No difference really. There is one key difference in the stats, which are the internal compartments. You see, the Cobra has 3 Class 4 compartments, 3 Class 2 compartments, and 2 Class 1 compartments. The Viper has 2 Class 4s, 2 Class 3s, 2 Class 2s, and 3 Class 1s. As you can see, the Viper's got a lot more compartments than the Cobra and has 2 Class 3 compartments and 1 extra Class 1 compartment as a trade-off between the Class 4 compartment. Make your own opinions, but in my opinion, the extra compartments let the Viper have a bit more options of what it can do in combat. For example, you can have extra space for cargo and a hatch breaker and collector limpet for some basic pirating, or more modules like a shield cell bank here and there, or more modules like a shield cell bank here and an interdictor there. Now to the price. The Viper MkIV is 436,000 credits, while the Cobra MkIII is 348,000 credits, an 88,000 credit difference here. The price can definitely mean a lot depending on the pilot's financial status, and just form your own opinions here. I'm not you, so I don't know. But personally, I do see the Viper as a good option, especially its additional compartments. But still, the Cobra does feel like the same thing, but cheaper to me. So, what do you think about the Viper MkIV? Personally, the Viper MkIV is a bit more expensive than the Cobra MkIII, but is able to fight basically equally and has room for extra modules, which may allow the Viper to gank or pirate a bit more. However, I actually do like the Cobra a lot better because, well, it's cheaper and the Viper costs more for not much of a difference or an upgrade. So basically they're like the same thing, but the Viper costs a lot more. Well, that's it for now, pilots, and 07, and have a good day. See ya.